mainly south of New Orleans near Lafitte. Look at all the heavy rain as indicated by some of the darker reds here and also some of those brighter shades of yellow. This is pushing its way north, so eventually coming into New Orleans probably within the next hour or so. And a lot of the heavy rain here mainly focused, as you can see, currently along the south shore down towards Lower Plaquemines. Here's us here in New Orleans. We are on the eastern fringe of the forecast track now. So this means that the center could go as far east as New Orleans. Lots of heavy rain here throughout the day today, throughout the evening hours. Here's tonight. We're looking at some moderate amounts of some heavy rain continuing to move on through, and then overnight here into early tomorrow morning, that's when we're still looking at a lot of heavy rain still moving through, especially heading into Wednesday morning around 10 o'clock. You can see plenty of wet weather and also some gusty winds, which I'll show you here shortly around 3 o'clock. Still very heavy rain moving through. There's the center coming ashore here across south central Louisiana around 6 p.m. And that's when a lot of our weather is really going to start to deteriorate significantly, with hurricane conditions definitely looking more likely for us, especially with that center looking a little bit more closer to us as we head into throughout the day Wednesday, throughout Wednesday night. And again, the weather starts to improve heading into early Thursday morning and throughout the day Thursday. Here we go as we head into tomorrow afternoon. That's when the wind gusts really begin to pick up, especially along the coast. We could be looking at up towards 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts here at times as we head into the metro. And then as we head into tomorrow evening, very strong onshore winds with the southerly flow with the hurricane coming in. We could be looking at gusts anywhere between 60 to 70 miles an hour. The models here have conjugated a little bit further towards the east, and that's why the Hurricane Center made the call to push the cone a little bit further towards the east here as well. Anywhere between 5 to 10 inches of rain, with locally higher amounts also possible in some of those heavier bands that do set up as Francine continues to move towards the northeast. Now, it looks like the system's starting to overcome at least a little bit of some of the drier air entrainment that's been giving the system problems here so far the last few days. I'm sorry you noticed that the system is starting to moisten up here a little bit. The tropical storm force winds beginning to move onshore the coast by Wednesday morning around 11 o'clock. And then it starts to spread here across southeastern Louisiana by 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Hurricane force winds are likely for the river parishes, very close to the western end of Lake Pontchartrain, and all of southeastern Louisiana is going to be feeling what is tropical storm force winds by early tomorrow evening. And you know what? We're still not going to be done with the tropical storm conditions as we head into Wednesday night into Thursday morning. The system will be pulling away, but some gusty winds could be possible there at times as well. But because of the onshore winds, you know, we're going to be piling up the water here for the coastline and also for portions of Lake Pontchartrain and river parishes here too. That's why we still have these storm surge alerts in effect for the area. 3 to 5 feet, as a matter of fact, possible for Lake Pontchartrain, Lake Maurepas area, and also for the Mississippi coastline. 4 to 7 feet possible Grand Isle. All right, well, Stella and Travers, we're still keeping a close eye on Francine as it continues to move in. Plenty of heavy rain all across southeastern Louisiana. This time I do want to move the map here and show you that the eye wall is still moving inland here now across central Terrebonne Parish. So if you're in Houma, get ready. You're going to be looking at some very windy, gusty conditions along with some blinding heavy rain that's also going to be moving onshore, moving into your neighborhood rather. And then meanwhile, want to go a little bit closer down towards the coast. See this dry area? Well, that is actually the eastern fringe of the eye starting to come ashore right now. Now remember, it hasn't made landfall yet, but we're still seeing that the fringes here of the eye beginning to move a little bit further inland on towards the coastline right now. But this is the worst part right now, moving towards Houma and eventually up towards Thibodaux, probably within the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. There is the eye still moving onshore right now. As mentioned, that the center of circulation moved onshore here around 20 minutes ago. Category 2 hurricane, winds of 100 miles an hour. The final numbers here for Francine as it continues to move. Here's a look at the visible loop. Not looking as well defined. Keep in mind, not only is it interacting with that strong upper level wind shear, but now interacting with land. So we're going to be looking at this system here weakening as it continues to move through these next several hours. We're also getting reports too, Devin, that the causeway is now officially closed as well. And for a very good reason, right? With all the heavy rain and some gusty winds that's moving on through the causeway right now, really. So nobody should be outside here at all. That should just be a sign here that remain in place, get to your safe spot because the eye wall is going to continue to move on on shore. Conditions will only continue to just rapidly deteriorate with these very strong winds. Look at Raceland as an example right now there behind me. We're looking at very heavy rain and some gusty winds here moving. Let's talk about some of those highest wind gusts that were recorded here today with Francine. Armstrong International Airport, 78-mile-per-hour winds. Lakefront recorded 70, so did Homa as well. The rainfall amounts to anywhere between around 6 to 8 inches here for some of those higher totals that we've seen here so far today, especially in the metros where we've seen a lot of it. And we also set a new daily record rainfall for today because of Francine, 7.32 inches at the Armstrong Airport. That broke the old record set back in 1998 for today of 5.64 inches.